creations, and shall see them restored to their proper forms.
And what exactly would that be?
Why, loyal servants to God.
No.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
You mean to turn everyone Akashic?
Not turn, Mythos. Turn back. For too long has mankind been led astray by their clamorous wills. It is time they return to a world of quiet equality, where they might once more know salvation.
Salvation? And abandon everything we hold dear?
We don't need your salvation. We'll save ourselves, and we'll do it on our own terms. Not yours. And not your gods.
With every defiant expression of your will, the tighter the chains of consciousness become. But perhaps that fact may be put to use.
Clive!
The faster it binds you to the remaining dominance, the stronger your hunger will become. Until it leads you back to the only answer there ever was. Mayhap not by the path my master intended, but back all the same.
Ash is not far. I could freeze a path.
You're in no fit state.
Probably not, but I can try. Don't look back! The others are safe.
The Enterprise was clear of the gap when we fell. They made it, Jill. And they will have seen the ice where it led. We need only wait till dawn. This is the second time Barnabas has bested me. I'm powerless against him.
And maybe there really is nothing else for it but to give yourself to his master. Only you won't do that. The Clive I know would never do that.
So you believe? But do you really know me? If what Barnabas said was true, then I'm more monster than man. And each time I summon the flames from within, I burn away the things that make me who I am.
Do you, though? Think of what you've used that power for. Of all the people you've saved. It doesn't matter how or by whom it was granted, only how you choose to use it. chosen to use it for good, haven't you?
I've also used it to kill. What if that's my purpose? What if it's all I'm good for?
You're still that same boy I grew up with. Always so eager to save everyone around you, and yet always so alone. Because you failed to realize the one thing that needed saving most of all. You, Clive. You. You never once took the time to save yourself.
Myself. I think I might be beyond saving.
No one is beyond saving, provided they want to be saved. You fight to survive. And you survive so that you may protect those you love. It's what you do. What you've always done. And I know you're not about to change. So I'm going to help you. To give you what you need to protect us all.
Jill. Are you sure? If this is what you want, then...
Don't worry, Clive. It is. This burden, I'll give you the strength to bear it alone.
But I'm not alone. These burdens I carry, my sins, my pain, my sorrow, I see now that they are all a part of me. If I'm to continue on, having pledged my life to those I love, then I will gladly bear your burdens too, until my last breath.
Clive.
I promise you, Jill, we will find a way to escape this fate. Find a way to save each other. That we might one day look upon the moon again, together.
And I promise you, Clive, that I will be there, no matter what you must become.
I know. I never thought a smile could bring me so much joy.
What of Barnabas? Do we pursue him?
No. Our paths will cross again soon enough. Whether we like it or not. Besides, there is something we must do first.
Of course. Drake's spine. The last Mother Crystal.
The Einherja is at the bottom of the sea. Waloed won't dare move on Storm without her. But they know we're coming now. We'll need a plan. And a damn good one at that.
Then let's go home and find one. Ash will have to wait.
Mid says Odin split the sea in two. She's always been but there's Tool, and then there's Tool.
I struggle to believe it.
I see your uncle isn't with...
He stayed with the Enterprise. After our brush with the Einherja, she was in urgent need of repair. And my uncle knows a shipwright in Randalar. We're to join him there when we're ready to sail for Ash.
You sure that's wise? Last I heard, the place was still overrun with Akashic.
Show me a city where that isn't true. Ultimately,
We're running out of time, aren't we? We've done our best to shore up that hideaway. But I doubt a few planks will stop what's coming. Still,
let's hope so. it, Joshua. Assuming Tali will allow it.
How are you doing? Here you go. Think you can help?
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot.
Come back.
What do you recommend? Oh, don't tell me we've run out of happy hours.
What do I owe the honor? What do you want? Should last you a good while. That it? Fine.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me.
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that.
Where are you?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris.
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Did she?
Following up on some... Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment. And about their cap.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the beastmen. I'll go and find her.
If she's not moved on already, yes. I hope everything's all...
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe... I was right to be worried.
Heard the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt. Well, anyway, the mine's just down the road from there, are spewing out ether like no one's business.
And the village?
Safe from the flood for now, but they've got other problems. Akashic. Every creature in the area is either turned, or on the way to turning, apparently. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. Doris sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. Except get eaten. If something ain't done soon, the whole place will be overrun.
I won't let that happen.
Didn't think you would.
Does Black...
I thought you...
No.
How do you... split the sea?
With Canva in the hands of Akashic,
Ah, Sid. Just the man I was hoping to see. Did you have a mo?
Don't tell me. You need more bomb ash.
Oh no, we still got plenty of that left. I'm working on bringing another one of the Chief's designs to life. This time, it's a new smelter. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top. For a bit, let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A heck of a lot hotter than anything Blackthorn's got. Only mithril engines get hotter. And you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other end. Trouble is, we won't be able to make out of any old rubbish neither. And I hear you once helped Helena get her hands on exactly that.
If it's for the good of the...
Oh.
So,
We've got a couple of examples here.
more full. So this...
That, and another in the silent sack.
All right.
It'll do.
Dory should be somewhere nearby.
Yeah!
All right.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
The whole village is turned. That'll do, girl. This is no time to ride. You deserve a rest. I'll need to deal with these ones first. This is it.
Clive, I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up and eat seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As of those poor bears, they've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small nits.
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't there? That should be enough to keep them in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens?
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love them too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool, they ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right, and they're...
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll... I'll go...
I'm sure you...
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
What are you after? Thanks very much.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure.
I'll give your offer some thought.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished without a trace.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So...
I'd say so. She tried to recruit. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across Sambra. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort. Which she wants. She's dangerous, Sid. But I think I can stop.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety.
The Baum archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway. Guardian saying you're supposed to...
Ah, what brings you to...
A delivery.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed. Only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and so that they'll be able to fend for them.
That's not a... These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses.
The Horde is closing it. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all. I thought we'd have more. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, sir.
The Horde.
A Kashek. A veritable... We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous...
What if you could...
You mean the... You're right, my lord. I will... My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter?
to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool!
For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me?
Lord Rossfield, my lady.
So what's the plan of it?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of with luck. That point will be the village square. The perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a... I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. But you'll be needed, please. Leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you...
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must... We work together. Each shielding the other that no man might fall. That Eastpool.
For Rosaria! For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord.
Then I will do it.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too, then.
Right, you?
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. Not let this village fall. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in there to...
Well, so I'll join you.
Next one's mine. I might not know.
No use calling Ambrosia now. Good girl. Nice try. to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield.
It's dead.
Thank the Founder. We were able to eradicate them. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seem... I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it...
Thank you, my friend.
No, you brought...
But we're at this down...
They're not slaves anymore.
No, your father and I...
But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting out. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your...
Of course. And I be counting us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right.
Lord Rossfield, clearing the goblins from the still... There's one sight that I shall never forget. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the end. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day to be a shield. Know that whatever trials...
So wait, you have...
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
The hero? It's lucky you came by when not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved...
I just did...
And it's only right that you get Take it.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on and a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day?
Well, it was your...
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different. You know, bearers living free like that. Reminds me of when I loath as I am to recall that particular...
I take it...
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what... In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he... He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And you know what he did? He smiled, and then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
We both wanted the same thing, to make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get the least of...
That sounds like a wonderful... Come on. Ready, go? Yeah! Good. They haven't... How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be...
Yes, Mom.
Oh, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try.
See.
So much for your
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman. I surrender.
Cid.
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not, you know... I always but casting your lot with this criminal of all...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for... I'm sorry, Cid. I should have told you so. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to her.
It wasn't all terrible. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took it, but you proved yourself a master of... How about it, my little dagger?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever, to liberate the bearers of... Farewell, master.
You always were a righteous. Perhaps that's the reason I...
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be, and she no longer has friends in Hype.
All right.
I am. And thank you.
Then I should head back to the hideaway and put coals...
Welcome back, Cid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled.
With any luck, though. Oh,
she can't have been easy for Doris.
Keep... All right. Enough of you, are there? So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
Clive!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at least.
Well done.
Welcome back. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous, keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoltan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
Then your idea of an apology. Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, but that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick.
What, you?
Even if...
Enough. This is no... You can finish beating each other up once Dravost is...
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah. So have I.
Sorry, Clive. Short enough on time, is it? Still... Give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it off. You,
We can't afford to wait.
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts, though. Oh, and... Blackthorn?
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more coming up from the
What was I saying?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back behind...
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight.
Well, let's hope you don't. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stand.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can. You evacuate. It won't come to that. Take good care of Dravo.
Leave it to me, and give those things what for, yeah?
All right.
Go,
Is that it? Apparently not. You're not getting past me. Now, the question... Did I miss any?
Man alive! You stood in one piece! As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you?
Good. So you do know. More will...
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later.
Sid! You're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the rich, but mostly, I felt...
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flow, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, we'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you, so...
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when, for me, it was anything. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But you'd have been the death of this place.
Finally. Something we can... I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, it's not about the craft. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead back the average castle apprentice. Come back to us, Blackthorn. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. There's people who trust their lives to my steel. And I dare. But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the crop.
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come court.
Knowing him... I never thought I'd see the...
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better.
Sid, I've got something for you.
And this is?
A token of, but I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief...
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to hone an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry, and they're not just for show.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravozd in the first place? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a dip between the two of us. I'd say we're the equal of any...
Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would
you? As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get you...
Faster!
That's better. Time to fight. quick, Skull.
It's over. All yours, Torgal.
That's all of them. Oh, I...
Come back.
You look like you could do with a drink.
Don't be a stranger, Sid.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of...
Clive. If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. The stew's awfully thin.
We were just about to make a start on that sword, I promised.
It's funny, but none of this would have been... You remember Camille? We'll be using his leatherwork for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving. Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is, then.
Well, bugger me.
The sword to end all so...
It's...
Thank you.
A list of material.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok.
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd say...
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the can!
What do I owe the honor? I never thought me in something if it hadn't been for you. I'm saying for you, dear. Anything else?
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never.
Canva lost. It can't be true.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for our lesson today?
With Canva in the hands of a Akashic.
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon, sir.
Good, thankfully.
Ah, that's brilliant. I'll fit him to the smelter right up. May I... The Telemon 30!
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let you...
It's fine, really.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to...
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon is a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal.
That is the spirit. You'll love it. So?
Thank you, Awaj.
Don't mention it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new, maybe even out there too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together.
They'll hardly believe their eye.
Everything's back the way it was. I don't...
Mustard and mandrake.
If there's one thing we've learned over the past few moons, it's that we're stronger when we stick together.
When the fang fell, it took my livelihood.
We need someone who can bring the whole town.
Are you looking for something in particular? An excellent choice. My thanks. Here you are. Go with Gilbert.
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty...
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure? I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats and firmly at the helm.
Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized, just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intend.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from...
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elder. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there...
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might, and they might have elected to take... They have formed what one could call... and they grow more organized.
We'll fight them all off just like last time. No matter how many of them there are, won't we?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for... Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organize by finding those ne'er-do-well. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us it.
How could I...
Thank Victor will fill you in on the particular. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a man?
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, sick.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. I've developed something of a fondness, and having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to a sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits, and he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. There are more camps, but we must...
All right. Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
There's ne'er-do-well.
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Finger! Take his head off!
Sid, Where are... Ah, I see the bandits didn't put...
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town's... They're saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape. And he says some of the children spotted him, and he was about... And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. Which is what... If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded still. All those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here. But I know one thing.
You're right.
And now, I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, well, it was bad.
We're sorry, Lubor,
but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoy... All that matters to me is that you two are...
Look at him talking to his betters like it's... All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something. Convince the people not to let their prejudice...
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmec. You head to make... They know Lord Underhill.
I'll do what I... Lubor, I can't promise anything, but...
And that is all I can ask.
Why you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a...
He knew all along that he was...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but... Could I have a moment of your...
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the The rumors that he's a bearer.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to...
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him?
Perhaps. That is... And they will thank you not to get him...
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider...
You never know. Once their anger is cool...
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers? I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still...
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end.
No, and your
But Luke...
Rosina, that steep yourself, rather not. But I do not, and so must... And now, I must embrace my new role of villain, so that the people of Dalimil, for only united can they hope to stand against the threat that... I'll need to make a suitably...
Don't go, Lubor. You're the... We'll be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town...
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the town...
I would not take it, Victor.
Over. And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the... I thought you were better than that, but it seems you had me.
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice?
Of those available to me, I believe it's... but where are my
going to go with him.
Why is everyone being mean to Lubor? He didn't do anything wrong.